back, everybody. Did you guys miss one of my beer reviews in July? If so, you came to the right place. Before we get to them though, if you're shopping on Amazon, use my link below. It'll help support 31st Brewing. More beer reviews, more home brews, more product reviews. It'll help out everybody. Also, it doesn't cost you a dime. Just click on the link. I would have to say my best beers for July was the Three Floyds Gumball Head and the White Chocolate Blonde from Grand Armory. Leave a comment below, tell me what the best beers were that you guys had in July, and hopefully you enjoy this video. In the smell, I'm getting some citrus and some pine, maybe some malt. But the citrus and pine really play well off each other. The malt is very, very low. I don't get bananas or tropical or anything like that out of the smell anyway. Yeah, that's about all I'm getting. Let's go ahead and get a taste. Very, very different taste. I do see, and I don't know if it's just because I read it on there, but there is like some kind of banana, mush banana flavor at the very beginning, going into some citrus and some pine. For 25 IBUs, I would say that's probably right. The bitterness is almost nothing. It doesn't linger. It's gone. Big citrus, some fruitiness and pine smell in there. I'm not getting any alcohol, any roasted malts or anything like that. Yeah, that's about all I'm getting. Big citrus with a little bit of fruitiness, then some pine in there. Pine's not overwhelming, but it is there. You do know it's there. Let's go ahead and get a taste. I am picking up some chocolate notes in there. Maybe some caramel, toffee, something like that in there. You are getting some citrus through it all with some pine. They do mention bitter chocolate malts in the description, and you are getting it, and maybe that's why it's not as black. They're using some kind of roasted malt that's not like a black roast or a special roast or something like that. Caramel toffee smell, maybe some malt, like roasted malt smell. That's about all I'm picking up. Let's get a taste. Caramel toffee, roasted malt. You can really taste that malt in there. Not bitter at all, but I wouldn't think so for 25 IBUs. You are getting some tart, maybe some sour, and some wheat in there, kind of biscuity. That's about it. That tartness, kind of sourness sticks out the most, but you can smell a little wheat. Let's go ahead and get a taste. A little bit malty, weedy. I can taste some wheat in there. A tiny bit of tartness. I wouldn't say there's any cherry in there, and the tartness is very, very low. Bitterness is nothing. There is a little bit of fruity notes, or some fruity notes in there. If I didn't know this was a cherry wheat, I would not pick up on that. I would say medium body. I almost want to say like somewhat of a sourness, some like biscuit in there, but some sour. You are getting the biscuit, the toasted biscuit in there with a tiny bit of sour, I'm going to say. I'm not getting any pine out of it, nothing like that. Maybe some citrus. A little bit of sweetness in there also, but that's about it. That toasted bread character does stick out, but I'm going to say it a third time. There's a little bit of sourness followed by some citrus. Let's go ahead and get a taste. There is some bread toastiness in there. Very clean. A little bit of sweetness, maybe a little bit of citrus, and then it's gone. No aftertaste whatsoever. It's gone once it goes down. Chocolate, I am getting some chocolate, maybe a little bit of toffee and coffee in there, roasted malts. And that's about it. I'm not getting any alcohol out of the smell. That coffee and chocolate really stick out more than anything in here. Smells pretty good. Let's go ahead and get a drink. Thick beer, medium to heavy bodied. Really pushing that heavy. You are getting some chocolate, like a molasses syrup thing in there. Very, very smooth. Like, yeah, silky smooth. There's a tiny bit of alcohol in the back of it, but not very much. But then it's gone. Your mouth does still have some of that roasted malt and chocolate in there, but not very much after it's gone. It smells like a wheat beer, a little bit of biscuit in there. I am picking up some zest, like orange zest, citrus in there. Obviously, I don't think you're going to be able to smell the honey, as the yeast is going to tear through that and you're not going to get a honey taste or smell. Yeah, nice orange peel smell along with a little bit of biscuit. Let's go ahead and get a taste. It is a little bit sweet up front from that honey, but you are getting that orange taste in there, and then it pretty much goes away. Bitterness is pretty much nothing, but for 15 IBUs, I wouldn't think it would be. Yeah, that sweetness plus that orange up front is really well together. You might be getting a little bit of biscuit weediness on the back, but yeah, once it goes down, it's gone. I'm really picking up that passion fruit and a sweetness, which I'm thinking is from the guave. Not a lot of citrus. I would say that passion fruit really comes out in this beer. Maybe a hint of pine, but like I keep saying, that passion fruit really comes out. Very good smell. Let's go ahead and get a drink. Right off the bat, I'm picking up the tartness, probably from the orange, and that passion fruit. The fruitiness really goes in there. There's a little bit of sweetness in there, and then it's gone. For me, if you told me this was 40 IBUs, I would say you're lying. It's more like a 20. That tartness, passion fruit really take over and take away everything else. It's a good taste. Pine is pretty much nothing. A little bit of biscuit in there with some citrus, but that's about all I'm getting. Maybe a hint of yeast in there. But the citrus, biscuit stick out the most in this beer. So let's go ahead and get a taste. There is a little bit of spice there with some biscuit in there. Then the taste does have some yeast in the back. A little bit sweet. For me, I'm really not picking up the citrus. It's like a biscuit kind of sweet, then yeast taste in there. I can see through it. I don't see any bubbles. Smell?
It doesn't smell like anything.
It smells like a wheat.
I'm not getting, any fruit at all. Contrary to your raspberry that was straight up raspberry.
Yeah.
It just smells like a wheat beer.
Yeah.
Let's taste it. Ready?
It almost reminds me of the Red Velvet.
Okay.
The Ballast Point Red Velvet. Like, I almost get like a chocolate taste in my mouth.
That's weird. I don't know.
But it's like, there's like nothing up front, then in the back there's like some tart, sour, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
With some weird...
Oh. I'm getting a tart flavor, yeah. But I'm not.
I couldn't say it was blueberries or raspberries at all.
Not if the color wasn't pink, I would say this was a wheat beer. This is like soft parade. This is what it wants to. It's a soft parade wannabe.
Yeah. I am picking up some coffee in there with some chocolate and roasted malts. Maybe some toffee in there, caramel toffee. No blueberry smell. So let's go ahead and get a drink. Good coffee going into some chocolate, a little bit of bitterness in the back. Sweet caramel toffee in there. Very smooth beer. Yeah, the roasted malt plus a little bit of bitterness in the back does help out. That coffee chocolate up front is good. Overall, a good beer. I am getting some sweetness out of there, some roasted malts, maybe a little bit of chocolate, but that's about it. Yeah, the sweetness and chocolate stick out more than the roasted malt, but you can smell that roasted malt. Let's go ahead and get a drink. Lots of sweetness in there, big time. I wouldn't say it's creamy or anything like that. It is on the heavier side, pushing heavy. Roasted, burnt malts in the back. Yeah, you can taste that sweetness, that lactose that they're using in there. Then it goes back into some roasted, kind of burnt malts in there, and that's about it. It's gone. Bitterness is pretty much nothing. I'm not getting any alcohol out of the taste. Fruity, I can smell the citrus, but the fruitiness really sticks out with a little bit of pine in there. Very, very good smell, like orange. I don't know if I want to say coconut just because that's what I see in here, but yeah, there's like coconut, pineapple smell. Very, very good smell. Let's go ahead and get a drink. Citrus, fruity up front, like orange, citrus, lime, lemon, fruitiness, pineapple, tropical fruits, then a little bit of pine in back. Yeah, there is some bitterness after the drink that does linger some. It's not very high, but you can tell that it's there. Grassy citrus is what I'm getting. Maybe a little bit of pine in there, but not very much. That grassy citrus is what sticks out the most. Yeah, that's about it. That citrus grassy really plays well with a little bit of pine. Let's go ahead and get a drink. Grassy, malty. The maltness or the maltiness is what you get up front, and it pretty much follows from the front of the palate to the back. A little bit of citrus in there, but that's about it. Lemon and tea is about all I'm smelling. Yeah, lemon tea. If anything, I can say it smells like iced tea. Let's go ahead and get a drink. The upfront taste, you are getting some lemon tea. The back, it's like there is some alcohol. Like the aftertaste isn't that good. It goes away quick. Hoppy, that pine citrus really stick out in this one. Could be a little bit of alcohol that I'm picking up in the smell. But yeah, that the citrus pine play well off of each other. Real good smell. Let's go ahead and get a drink. Some citrus up front, followed by some malt and pine in back. The malt level to me is good. It's not like overpowering. It goes well with that pine. To me, for 46 IBUs, I would almost say it's lower. I'm not getting a lot of bitterness, like it's not lingering at all. It's just that malt, pine, and back, then pretty much gone. There is a little bit of pine that lingers, but not hardly any. Good smell, citrus fruitiness with a little bit of pine. That citrus really sticks out. The pine is slightly there, but you can smell it. Yeah, that citrus fruitiness is what really sticks out to me, followed by a little bit of pine. Let's go ahead and get a drink. Good citrus fruitiness up front. It does fade back into some pine and some citrus. There is a little bit of lingering. I would almost say citrus, like a yeasty citrus taste in the back. Juicy, a little bit of citrus in there, pine, but yeah, that juicy, the fruitiness really, really sticks out in this one. I'm not picking up any alcohol in it at all, but yeah, that it's very juicy smelling with a little bit of pine in the undertones. Let's go ahead and get a taste. A little tart up front, then you do get that juiciness, maybe some citrus, pine in there, and some bitterness in the back. Not bad at all. Medium bodied. It's almost slick. But that's probably from the oats they used. Oats usually make beer slick. Yeah, a little bit of tartness up front, and then juicy, like fruitiness, citrus, and a little bit of pine. Then you do get some bitterness on the back, and it does linger just a little bit. Kind of weedy, but mainly the citrus comes out. Like it's almost like an IPA. If I'm guessing, if you didn't tell somebody this was a wheat beer, they would think it's an IPA, and they would wonder maybe where the pine is, because it's like a weedy citrus is what you're getting out of the smell. Yeah, maybe if anything, maybe a tiny bit of yeast. But let's go ahead and get a drink. That citrus goes all the way through. There is a tiny bit of malt, some wheat in there, some biscuit, toastiness. Yeah, and that's about it. It goes away. It's crisp. It's refreshing. There's no bitterness, but there shouldn't be. But yeah, it's like that citrus goes all the way through it. Then there's also some wheat biscuit in there, and then it's gone. I am getting some citrus fruitiness out of there, some pine. I was going to check because I always keep forgetting. So there's been 45,000 reviews on this one. I would say, if anything, I would say it is kind of like a juicy IPA more than your standard IPA in the smell. Yeah, that's about all I'm getting. Like a citrus, fruity mix there, hardly any pine at all. Let's go ahead and get a taste. The taste is okay. You're getting some of that citrus. I am getting more pine in the back. A little bit, I guess you could say, fruitiness up front with that citrus, but the citrus to me is what takes over. It almost smells like a standard ale. I'm getting a little bit of biscuit out of there. I'm not really, maybe a tiny bit of fruitiness, nothing on the citrus side. Yeah, just maybe a touch of citrus, but really some breadiness is about all I'm getting. Breadiness and maybe a little bit of fruitiness. Yeah, I'm really not getting much. That's weird. Okay, let's go ahead and get a drink. Very tart. Tart, sour up front with some sweetness. Yeah. Then more sweetness, tartness, and back. It's weird. It's throwing me off because obviously from the smell, I'm not getting a lot, but you're getting a big burst of tartness up front in the taste. Then some sweetness. Then it's almost like a tartness, sweetness, and back. It almost smells like a shandy.
Yeah. Which I think is probably what it's supposed to be. Be careful, you're going to get it in your nose.
Oh, it's okay. They do call it a shandy.
Okay, well, it's wheat ale made with lemonade. I'm just excited because I love all things lemon.
Right.
All things lemon. And I actually should have brought some blueberries to eat or stick in there as a garnish.
Yeah, I would say shandy. You are getting some lemon, but I wouldn't say it's like
It
pronounced.
doesn't smell like, I don't think it smells like a citrus beer or anything.
Okay, drink.
Oh my, how? Oh yeah, I like this.
To me, there's really nothing up front. Then it goes kind of tart, lemon. Sweetness and white chocolate is about all I'm getting out of this. The white chocolate reminds me of the Ballast Point, the red velvet cake one. But yeah, sweet white chocolate is about all I'm picking up. And if you really, really want to say, I would say there's a hint of like coffee, like roasted coffee in there. Let's go ahead and get a drink. Some sweetness in there, and there is like chocolate, like a white chocolate in there. It's not a dark chocolate. There's no bitterness. It's clean, refreshing, goes right down, no aftertaste at all. There is a little bit of breadiness in back, but not very much. So yeah, you get that sweetness, white chocolate, then a little bit of bread, and then it's gone. The citrus really sticks out in this. You're getting a tiny bit of pine in there, but the citrus really comes out. There is a little bit of sweetness smell too. But yeah, if anything, that citrus is what you smell pretty much the whole entire time. Let's go ahead and get a taste. Some citrus up front, then some maltiness with some caramel in there, and bitterness in the back. I would say is like medium. Yeah. Yeah, you are getting that citrus up front, then that maltiness comes in. There is a little bit of pine in the back, then there is some bitterness that stays down there after you drink it. Thank you for watching this video. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Leave me a comment down below to tell me what you thought about this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and share, and hit that bell so you know when new videos are coming out. You can check out these videos over here. Also, head over to 31stbrewing.com for everything beer and home brewing related.